Gary, welcome to India. Like, how has your experience been in Chennai and in Goa?
Goa was very interesting. It's an amazing conference. One of the most widespread conferences I ever participated. There were about 70 speakers who covered topics, there's literally anything that your imagination can bring in, and fantastic expertise, ranging, from natural science to politics and literature and music and of course life and business, and I was very pleased to be part of that. Great audience, and I was also amazed by the response. People liked it very much, and it's a great experience. So it's actually my third trip to India, and all of them are connected to the conferences. First was the India Today conclave in 2009, in March I think, and then in the fall the same year in Mumbai, IBM holding the conference in Goa. And from Goa we flew to Chennai with my wife, and it's short. So actually, he said, I always smiled. He said, "Welcome to India," but I'm actually leaving tonight. So it's different because I'm very, on one side, just again, I portrayed myself here as a chess tourist, somebody who's watching it, and of course, it's a great joy for me as for a former world champion and for somebody who has been looking for a great improvement of the game of chess over decades, to see, it's the very high standards of organization, and what is even more important is a phenomenal interest. It's people have been complaining over last few years that the interest for chess has been declining and nobody cares. It's just the game is dying. So, this is very important, just to prove them wrong. That the game of chess is very much alive, and it has a huge interest. And I wouldn't say just because it's Louisiana and it's his native town. I think in general, there's the recognition of the unique qualities of the game of chess, and I hope that this match will help actually to not just destroy this myth about chess being on decline, but also just to create a new image of the game that will be sweeping the world.
And you were just saying that chess is becoming so popular. How do we make it more popular? It's not a spectator sport as such, like other things. How do we improve it even further?
Okay, this you said. I think you said something, which is probably almost an answer to the question. You said spectator sport, but the spectator sport concept comes from the TV era. We are now it's still in TV era, but we are heading for post-TV era, and it's not far from day when this screen replaces the TV screen. So now, can you watch football here? Can you watch basketball? Can you play basketball? No. Can you watch chess? Can you follow chess? Can you learn chess? Can you play chess? The answer is yes. The answer is just how to actually make chess part of this new trend. I feel that we are we are now facing historical challenge, and it's a great moment where you can bring chess as a nexus of all the key words now in the modern world, like education, technology, social network. If you find a way to transform it and to package it, I think sky's the limit.
And
go ahead.
You have been a great champion for so long. Then we have seen Vishy Anand, 5-time champion. Is there any common traits to becoming? What is the making of a champion like you, or Vishy Anand? What are the qualities which is required?
Look, you need national talent, that's for sure. So then you need your ability to work hard. So that's also very important. And I'm always getting annoyed to hear, he's not talented, but he's working hard. And working hard is also talent. So saying that you can replace by hard work, lack of talent is wrong, because talent includes ability to work really hard. Otherwise, you'll not find it. So that's just and you will never go up. So that's it. And it's also about determination. So you want to reach the goal. It's not just working hard, but you stay focused, and you need also support. So your family, or of people who are helping you, the coaches. So I was quite lucky that I had my mother, and then other people, like Mikhail Botvinnik and Alexander Nikitin, and those who were just surrounding me, and definitely gave me very important lessons of life. So it's a combination. If you want to be on the very, very, very top, so then you need just a small element of luck, just to on top of everything.
It's important, like you were saying, like what kind of training is very important for that. And if you're seeing, like from the 80s and 90s, like you dominated for so long, at that stage opening theory was still a lot of it through books and practice. Now there's a lot of engines which has come up. So do you find there's a lot of change from your era to now?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just chess again. Let's go back to computers. So how many people heard of computers in the early 80s? I remember I played in London against Victor Korchnoi 30 years ago, semi-final match, candidates, and we were sponsored by Acorn Computers. Okay. Who remembers the name Acorn Computers? So it's a 8-bit technology. So then I had my first contract. I had a short-term advertising contract with Atari Computers 286. It just was new. It's breakthrough technology at that time, 1986, 87. I remember as a part of the contract was that we brought it 53 computers to a Moscow computer club. That I was the president of the club. It's the first computer club in the Soviet Union. So it's early 87. So today, no one can imagine life without this device. So right. You lose this device, or you left it behind, and you feel stripped. Or also now, and it affects every piece of our life. So because we rely on the data, whether it's in opening preparation or in daily life, this data is just it's integrated part of our life. I actually feel that today, contrary to popular belief, more creativity is needed, because you have to be very creative to actually be ahead of the opposition, be at the cutting edge. Because 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even you could come up with ideas and then just find some new moves that would be enough. Today, machines are seeing everything. So just in order to be ahead of others who are using same computers, same engines, you have to be very creative. So actually, that's one of the vicious, strong sides. He's very good in working with computers and finding this, new routes in well-known positions.
So just leading on to that, like since you mentioned Anand and Carlsen, like how would you describe both players, the playing style of both? Are they a good contrast? In the sense that because there's so much expected in these championships.
Look, the contrast is already defined by the age. So Vichy is double Magnus age.
Right.
So I just look at the statistics. If you go through all World Championship matches, the first one in 1886, Stein Super Tour. I think this is the third match by the gap. Yeah. So, and if you look at the modern chess, 20th century, modern chess, it's the second after Botvinnik Tal. So it's just it gives you an idea that it's already an interesting clash of generations.
Right.
So that's the one factor. Of course, generational clash also generational gap also creates certain differences, because people, when we grow older, no matter how aggressive we were in our young days, so we're getting more cautious, so just more experience. So naturally, Vichy today is different from Vichy who played 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But also the approach is different. I mean, Magnus plays more of a Karpov style, so it's more it's very great precision, and also he has this official's passion to fight just to the very, very end. So it's a very lethal combination of two great champions. Vichy, he's very he's capable of adjusting. So he's not a direct approach. Also, he can be very, very sharp, in attacking, but he's more more of the it's more flexible. So that's why he can adjust quickly and and he also finds just the way to go. So on the board. So he also has this similar concept of locating pieces in the right positions as Karpov, but it's more it's still there's a distinct difference because he's more there's an element of sharpness there, so that's why it's like which may not be as distinct now as 20 years ago, but still it's just he's more concrete approach. So Magnus calculates perfectly, but still he just relies on instinct. So Vichy also relies on instincts, but he has been always searching for just opportunities to actually to strike.
Like, do you remember the first match which you played against Magnus Carlsen and Vichy Anand? Like, do you remember, and what was your first impression when you played both?
Look, it's hard to compare because I played with Magnus, this blitz and rapid chess. He was a very young kid going up. I was already at the end of my career, so it was just less than a year from my final tournament from pro-timer. It was it was amazing. I nearly lost the rapid game in Reykjavik. I survived game one in our match, and then I won the second one. But he was 13, so at that time. So it's definitely it was not Magnus Carlsen we saw, but I mean you could see tremendous talent and confidence. So you didn't have to be just a great player to understand the potential. Vichy I played the first time. Actually, we met with Vichy in '88. I think he won in Holland when he was the world champion under 20, and I was really the world champion. And we played exhibition together. So just that. But the first time we played in Linares in '91. Actually, I needed to win because I was there just 3 rounds to go, and I had to win to fight for the first place. We were tied with Ivanchuk. With Ivanchuk and the offside, so and I needed to win. And actually, I couldn't. It was a quick draw because I had an opening preparation, and then Vichy found the move. The idea was, as later as proved, they were nearly winning, but I couldn't find the right maneuver, so that was a draw. But that was Vichy had played dozens and dozens of games, so that's why if you combine the classic and rapid. So after stumbling, just it's at the beginning. So at one point I lost 2 games in a row, so in Tilburg the second round, and then next one in Reggio Emilia. So it's for a moment he was leading.
Right.
2-1.
It was interesting.
2-1.
I was looking at the 5 games.
2-1. Yes.
He was leading 3-1 something.
2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Okay.
He lost 1 game, and then he won another one, same tournament. And then I lost him in Reggio Emilia. That was one of his best tournaments at that time. He won it. But then table turned.
Right.
So and I kept winning, and after our match in New York, it was one-sided. So I think he hasn't recovered. So it's still, people are surprised that sometimes when they look at the scores, somebody just has a terrible score against another player, and And I don't think Vichy had any bad scores, similar to the bad score he had against me. But it's very much psychological. I think he just couldn't bear the pressure. So because otherwise, when you look at the rating and the quality of play, so it looks a bit odd because Vichy played successfully, basically against Kramnik, and Kramnik had played well against me. So there's always an element of psychology.
Yeah, just touching on that, like what was the experience of playing in the 95 final against Anand at the World Trade Center? Like you had, I think 8 draws in a row, and then 9th game, Anand had won, and after that, like he won 3 in a row, and I mean just
4 out of 5.
4.
Yes, okay. It was 8 years ago, so it's this long time ago, and it was a strange match, I have to say, I mean, Vichy was well prepared, and I couldn't find zone of comfort for me. So and it took this terrible disaster in game 9. So and then of course there's brilliant victory in game 10 with this new idea that I came up. It's actually the first time when I use computers to verify it, but it's purely calculation. So it's to prove that the idea could work. Okay. And I think this victory actually. That's shaken Vichy, and he couldn't recover. I didn't like the way I played the match, but as we say, it was enough. So it was there, and it's it's like a modern match when a lot of things have been prepared. You have already 2 strong teams. It's just the match was the beginning of new era when there was just many great ideas found and not used. As I said, it's marked the first use of computer, so it was opening of new era, and of course I was proud that I won, facing such a strong and young and ambitious opponent.
So just getting onto that, when you played computers, Deep Blue, Deep Junior, like how different is it when you're playing a computer as opposed to a human opponent?
Different because it's just you have a different psychology. So because machine punishes you for every inaccuracy, so you don't have human return favor algorithm that happens in any human competition.
Okay. So was there more pressure on you because
it's much more pressure? It's just because you don't. I mean, you understand that the value of not mistake, just inaccuracy, is much higher in the human chess.
Like how would you describe the status of chess right now in the world? Like India has the most rated players now, and would you consider like India is among the top nations? We have risen so high now, and can we improve it even further? Like
look, it always depends on the angle of your evaluation. So naturally, when you look at number of strong players, when you look at number of rated players, I mean, India has improved dramatically, and you can be proud of all the achievements. On the other side, there's much more can be done to promote the game of chess in the masses. Okay. So I was quite shocked when I spoke at Goa conference, and just last few minutes of my talk at the stage, I mentioned chess in education. Chess as a potential tool for both social impact and for educational benefits. And I said I was shocked because the audience they liked it, okay, but most of these people never heard about it. So, and then I was approached by a number of people. I mean, people from wealthy families, people who are just involved in education in different parts of the country, and they said, "Great idea. So, tell us what you're doing. Where can we find more about it?" Of course, we got connected, but there's so much room for the federation actually to improve, because it's how come that these people, and we're talking about very intelligent, educated, wealthy people, they never heard about it. So the idea, in my view, of using chess as the important social and educational tool of the 21st century, I mean, it has plenty of room for improvement in India. So that's why I hope that in the process of ongoing reform, which I'm hopeful as new FIDE president will impose, I believe India could play a big role because we have chess traditions. Technically, it's a birthplace of chess. You have a lot of strong players. You have a huge interest. You have your own star here. So you have all the components to become far more advanced in polishing the new image of the game of chess.
What was your most memorable experience when you played chess? Like you had a huge rivalry with Karpov. Like when one thinks of chess, I mean, two rivalries come to mind. Like yours with Karpov and Fischer-Spassky. So
okay, Fischer-Spassky was one match. So I played with Karpov 5 matches.
Right.
Look, it's a long history, so I don't think I could pick up one, just given moment. Of course, winning the World Championship match in '85. Saving the title in Sevilla in 1987, the last game 24. I would be in great difficulty if forced to pick up one specific moment.
Like you have made the shift to politics. Like was there any particular reason?
Called human rights. That will be more precise.
Would you consider return maybe back to playing chess or?
I'm not,
Or coaching perhaps?
I've been doing a lot of coaching. So I never left the game of chess, because I've been writing books. I've been doing a lot of coaching at different levels. I've been engaged with Kasparov Chess Foundation in America since 2002, and in the last 4 or 5 years, I've been doing regular sessions with the best US kids. We have special programs for them. I've been spreading Kasparov Chess Foundation around the world, so I've been writing books. Of course, I've been working with Magnus for 1 year. For 1 year with Hikaru Nakamura. So I don't have the same engagement as before, but chess was ever an important part of my life. And now, just with my bid for FIDE presidency, so I believe that I could even, I will even do more for the world of chess.
How was your interaction with Carlsen when you spent a year training him? So.
It was great joy because he's an amazing talent, and I really enjoyed working with somebody who was just so quick in just moving around. So, and it's for me it was somehow a revival. So I could see that I could share my experience and just to add value to a great talent who I knew, just from the very beginning of my work, would break up all my records.
Okay. You have mentioned that Carlsen is a favorite, and do you feel that Anand would come into the picture maybe if it is 6-all and we had to go to the tie break, rapid and blitz? Like who would you consider the favorite in case the match is tied 6-all?
Yeah, first of all, it's a favorite. I always, said that, it's not an easy walk. It's not one-way match, and you could see that my prediction probably, most likely, was correct. So, a match is not just, an event that you can judge from the previous results in the last few years. Vichy has been declining as a tournament player, and you could look at the rating. Magnus was going up, but Vichy played many matches, and he was very successful in matches. So, and from the very beginning, we could see that he's really focused. He's more cautious than usual. He's probably trying to be very much in control. Like yesterday in the game, he just missed some great opportunities. I was a bit surprised that he didn't even try. So because there's 10 years ago, 15 years ago, he would smell blood, and he would not go for this B2 pawn. He would look, just in the opposite direction. So but again, he's still, you could feel the confidence of this, and he's really well prepared for the event. If match is not decided in 12 games and it goes tie break, unlike Gelfand or Topalov, and Magnus is really good, so especially in blitz. So I would think that in rapid, again, Magnus might be considered the favorite, but it all will depend on how they reach 6-6. So this is this because it could be different 6-6. So
Right.
it's not just 12 draws. Somebody is leading and losing. So this is this. The rapid will depend in this case because Anna Vichy is a great rapid player. So if they go to rapid, it will entirely depend on the psychology. So that's just, because then the price of each move, the price of psychological psychological pressure, it just goes up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say then we are just on equal territory.